Welcome back. This week's video I'm going to utilize a Bosu, which is this kind of half ball. It's called a Bosu ball. Flat on one side, rounded on the other. I will utilize it on both sides. If you're unfamiliar with one, I like to start people with the round side up. It's a little easier to get on and off by yourself. The other way, once you're established with it, I like it better. It's a little easier on the ankles, but harder to get on and off. Another awesome thing to use is just go next to a wall, or I really like to use the TRX straps so that I have some just more stability, and I use those to get people on and off the ball, and then you can release those straps. So that's an awesome way to do it as well. So this is going to be a two-part video. I'm going to do part one today, which will be a little more of a full body workout, and then next week's video will be just specifically working on the core utilizing the Bosu. So here we go. First exercise is just squats on the Bosu. You could do this adding weights, just one in each hand. You can also put them over your shoulders if you like that. I like to have them down by my sides. So just get on there, make sure your feet are parallel. It's going to be a little bit of a narrow squat, maybe more narrow than you're used to. So just going into a squat, using just body weight as I am, or add those weights if you want. My balance is not great right now with the added baby belly, so I'm opting out of the weights. So that's a basic squat on the rounded side. I do about 20 of those. Now I will flip it over and show you how to do them on this side, which I actually prefer, again, once you are a little more confident on getting on and off. So feet kind of to the far edges, gives you a little more space, and make sure those feet are parallel. And same thing, you can add weight or do it without, and as you can see I am wiggling around a lot. That's fine, just go with it. All those little leg muscles that don't normally get activated are working hard for you here. And 20 would be a good start here as well. Next, I'm going to flip it back over and just a little bit of balancing work. So I'm going to come back up on this. No weight here, you could hold them, but you don't need it. Take one foot towards the center. Again, this would be an awesome one maybe to do next to the wall and or holding on to some TRX straps. So just play with switching your weight from one foot to the other. You can take your arms out, hands to hips, whatever works, and just work on lifting that leg without falling off. And then you can switch sides and just really get used to working on the balancing on one side at a time. And you might not want to be on cement if you are worried about falling. A nice soft floor would be awesome. So just work on balancing one foot at a time and switch that back and forth. And that's just a little balancing exercise. I'd try maybe 10 times on each leg. Next, I'm going to show a couple different ways to do lunges. So lunging with the Bosu, starting back a little ways, I'm going to take a step forward, foot is going into the center, and I'm lunging down. So that would be a forward lunge. Foot plants, get that back toe turned under, and squat down. You could definitely add weights there. Again, adding a balance element to your lunges. Similarly, doing a side lunge, you could stand to the side, go ahead and take that step. My toes are pointing forward, and I'm bending into that lunge. Weights added if you'd like. Come back together, take a step, go down. Both of the lunge variations, roughly 10 on each side. Again, adding weight if you want, and just getting a nice balance element added to those lunges. You could also just do a little bit of a pulsing lunge. So my back toe is tucked under, weights in hands if you'd like, and just kind of pulsing up and down. Another great way to do the lunge, really accessing that back hamstring on that one. Oh, one other option that I like to do for the side lunge is adding a little windmill to it. So if I'm in my side lunge here, this opposite arm is going to come down towards that foot with a flat back and then reach it back up. Avoid swinging, but really utilize that low back and shoulder to come back up. So I call this a windmill. And you could still bring your foot back each time if you'd like. Just adding a little weight to that one. So a little bridging exercise, working your hamstrings and glutes, one of my favorites. So go ahead and lay back. And your feet, you want your hips right up next to that Bosu, nice and close. Feet are going to be right on top. Hands are pressing down into the floor, and we're just lifting and lowering. You've seen this in several of my videos before. Love this. If you want to add to it, one foot is in the center, other leg is straight up, and we're doing a single leg bridge. Lifting nice and high with the hips. You are probably going a little higher than I can at this point. And then bring it back down. You could technically put weight across the front of your hips with a barbell or medicine ball or kettlebell if you'd like. I do about 20 on each side on that of the single leg, or both legs again for about 20. Okay, working the upper body, coming back up on here. Again, you could use either side. I prefer this side if you're comfortable with it. So just a couple options. Any upper body, just arm exercise you could take on here. Again, just adding in a little bit of balance and bringing the lower body into it. So instead of just standing on the ground now, my core is engaged a little bit more to stabilize me, and my legs are activated more. So from here you could do your hammer curls, working those biceps. If you're going to do these, 3 sets of 15. You could do your shoulder press. You could also do it with a barbell, it doesn't have to be dumbbells. And you could also take it into a tricep extension. So as you see, any of the upper body exercises that we do just seated on a bench or just standing can be taken to the Bosu to add some difficulty and balance to it. And each of those, the usual 15 reps, about 3 sets. So lastly, I like to do push-ups with the Bosu. 2 ways you can do that. I'm going to demonstrate from my knees, but you can definitely go up to your feet if that's accessible to you. So otherwise, knees are down. So with the round side down, flat side up, you can just take your hands on top. Working those push-ups, you can also actually grab the sides, which I like to do, and work on those push-ups. Or using the round side, if you can kind of imagine this, having a barbell across the top, one of the smaller ones that is not made out of metal that you find at the gym. So laying right across the center, I'm gripping both sides of that, and then I'm doing my push-ups on that bar. And that's a really great way, working on the balance of the upper body. Alright, so that concludes our Bosu video. Push-ups, I'd do about 15, 10 to 20, whatever you're at, and the usual 3 sets of all of these exercises. So enjoy it, have fun, and work on that balance.